Hey, it's Sri here. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through whether separation is good for a marriage that's on the verge of a divorce. Now, before we dive in, I know that if you're in the process of separation or have been separated for some time, it's a really difficult place to be in. I know that emotionally you're probably going to be fluctuating quite a lot between days where you feel extremely sad and just alone and fearful to other days where you feel like, you know what, it'll be what it's supposed to be, I'll be okay. And the yo-yoing of those emotions can be really draining. And so if you are in a place where you're trying to move forward but you're just struggling to get any sort of stability, whether that be in your marriage or within your own self emotionally, then I'd love to be of service to you and help you in any way that I possibly can. And that can possibly be through my Authentic Relationship System training program, which is an amazing program geared towards helping you in your marriage and also with your emotional well-being. So if you are needing some support, then I'd encourage you to just go in the description section below where there's a link that says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and I'll contact you at the scheduled time just so I can learn a little bit more about where you're at and where you're wanting to get to and how I can help you to bridge that gap. And make sure to hit the subscribe button below and click on that bell notification as well, so every week you get access to my latest videos that help you navigate your way through a really difficult marriage, but also to be able to heal yourself from infidelity and to learn more about male psychology as well, because men and women operate very differently in marriages. Now obviously if you're going through a separation, when you first find out about it, it's just so crushing in terms of the pain that you have to deal with and the shake-up of your life as well. One moment you've got this stable environment and the next moment everything is just up in the air and you're not sure the impact it's going to have on your kids. Not sure about the impact it's going to have on your life financially, emotionally, mentally, the whole package. Not to mention just losing this man that you've spent most of your life with. It's a really difficult place to be. But what I do believe is sometimes there is a silver lining and sometimes there are some benefits that can come out of it. And so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk you through why separation can actually be good for a marriage and how it can actually help you, not just within your own self, but in the overall context of your marriage as well, and be able to maximize your chances of being able to save it. So the first reason why separation can be good for a marriage is because it allows you to take some time to be able to reflect on the marriage and see what was actually working well and what wasn't working so well. See, a lot of the time when we're dealing with marriages, we've just been kind of carrying on the status quo for some time. Very rarely do marriages just flip overnight. It's a progression of little behaviors that have happened over a long period of time that have ultimately got the marriage to a point where one person says, I'm done, I don't want to be married to you anymore, or I love you but I'm not in love with you, or whatever. There's lots of different reasons for it, but often it's because of lots of little behaviors that are compounded over a long period of time. And when we're actually in it, it's hard to sort of know what's actually going on. It's only when we step away from the environment that we actually see what's actually happened. And if you think about it in sports or in business, often when you're in the environment itself, you can't actually see what's going on. You don't have the benefit of 20/20 vision in those moments. However, when you get a coach or you have someone that is objective and can look at it from a detached perspective, what actually happens is they can actually see things that have been going on for some time. But when you're in the actual environment itself, it's so difficult to pick up. So what's good is sometimes just the separation from that environment and having a little bit of time to yourself and having a bit of time for introspection can actually help you to gain a little bit more clarity, can help you to really look at things and go, okay, maybe our communication did fall apart over a long period of time. Maybe we were just caught up in our own careers. Maybe we were all caught up in the kids, and then that meant that we were disconnected and we didn't put enough energy into our marriage. There can be often so many reasons. So what separation can do is allow you to look at all those different factors. And why that's important is because should you guys get back together, you know the things that you want to work on. You know the areas that need to be improved in. And also, during a separation, inevitably you're going to have some conversations at some point with them. And it allows you to have some productive conversations and to take ownership of the areas that you can improve in, and also to just have a genuine open discussion about what both parties believe contributed towards the deterioration of the marriage. And just by understanding that and taking ownership of certain areas, that can allow you to have some productive conversations and allow you to be able to move forward in a positive way together. So that's the first reason why separation can be a really, really positive thing. Now, the second reason why separation can be good for a marriage is because what it does, it allows you to confront your deepest fears. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. What's the reason that you want to save your marriage, and what is your deepest fear that you're having to deal with at present? You know, what you can do is write that down in the comment section below. I really want you to face up to what are those fears at the deepest level. Are you afraid of being alone? Are you afraid that you're never going to find someone else? Are you afraid that, you know, being on your own is just going to be too much because you've always been someone that's had someone in your life? What are those deeper fears? Because when you actually understand what those deeper fears are and you actually work on healing those, that's never going to be the driving force anymore. You see, at present, your deep fears are going to be coming up, and that's natural and very normal. But if we're run by those fears, not only are the actions that you're going to be taking being motivated by fear, but the chances are that because they're motivated by fear, they're not going to get you the best results that you're looking for. And not only that, but those fears that you're having to face in your marriage are probably going to be existing in other areas of your life as well. You know, if you feel like you have a fear that you're not good enough, then that's naturally going to translate into other areas of your life. And I use that as a base example because it's something that comes up a lot in my work. So you want to address your fears, you want to confront your fears, and you want to overcome your fears, because once you do that, you're going to be in so much more of a centered and grounded place. You're going to feel so much better inside. And that's what I want for you, because no matter what happens in your marriage, I want to make sure that you're okay and that you're able to heal from it. And by going through a separation, what actually can happen is it allows you to face up to some of those fears and to move past them. So that's the second reason why separation can actually be a really good thing. And the third reason why separation is actually a really good thing for your marriage is it gives you the space to be able to make the best decision for you as well. You see, as a woman and as a mother, you're probably in a place where you're always focused on everyone else. And you're always worried about what other people are thinking, or you're worried about the impact it's going to have on other people, which means you're probably going to be putting less of a focus on you. And so by stepping away from that environment, what it does allows you to really take the time to go, what do I truly want? To truly empower yourself and to understand, if I can actually heal some of those deep fears that I'm holding on to, if I can do a really good stock take on the marriage, so then maybe what I can do is look at this in terms of the big picture and go, what's actually best for me and my life as well? And sometimes what I find is that when people separate, it actually makes them realize, look, you know what? I love this man. I want to be with him. I'm growing and I'm becoming the best version of me so that we can really maximize the quality of this marriage. However, there are instances where people have been tolerating such poor behaviors for such a long time that they've almost been drowning in the marriage and haven't even been aware of it. And then they get away from that environment. They realize, you know what? I've been treated really poorly for a long, long time. And I don't want to deal with this anymore. I want to live a joyful and happy life. I want to be at peace. And part of that might mean that you may need to walk away, because that's what's going to ultimately give you that feeling of inner peace and joy inside. It's okay to sometimes make that decision. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about got to save every marriage and got to work on every marriage, and if you've been together for such a long time that you've just got to make it work. But there are occasions where it's okay to walk away. It's okay to find the courage to say, you know what, I've been tolerating this for too long, and it's time for me to actually move on. It's time for me to actually find my true joy and happiness. And that can only come when you've actually done the inner healing on the inside. Because if you haven't done that, you're not going to have the courage to be able to walk away. You're going to struggle with that. Or you're not going to have the courage to confront the challenges in the marriage and do the necessary work to improve it as well. It's really important that you do the inner work, that you really confront your fears, that you do a stock take on the marriage, and you see this as an opportunity to actually make the best decision for your marriage. Because when you see separation as a positive, you might actually be surprised at what could actually happen in the long run. Now I know going through a separation is extremely difficult. I've had difficult relationships in the past, and I know what it's like when you've been taken away from that environment, and it's extremely painful. And my heart goes out to you, and I want you to know that I am here to serve you for your highest good if you are needing some help. So if you do resonate with my material, and when you want to learn a little bit more about how you can possibly get some help, then what I'd encourage you to do is in the description section below, just click on that link which says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at the scheduled time just to learn a little bit more about where you're at, where you want to get to, and how I can help you through my Authentic Relationship System training program as well. Now, if you're not quite ready to jump on a call, that's totally okay. All you need to do is in the description section again, there'll be a link to register for my free masterclass training, which will teach you the exact 3 steps that my client Sarah used to be able to save her marriage from the brink of a divorce in less than 60 days. It's an amazing journey that she was on. She's a remarkable woman, and I know that you're going to get a lot of valuable information from it. So just click on that link, register for the masterclass, and then just show up with an open mind, and I know you're going to learn a ton from it. And make sure you stick around to the end, where I'll give you a free gift that I know you'll really, really value as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And do let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video as well. I always love hearing the comments and the questions, and I'll make sure to respond to every single one of you. And if you want to know whether you should apply the no contact rule during a separation, click this video above. And if you want to learn why do men always come back after a separation, click this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.